And basically the same approach for you guys. You're going to walk up to the entrance, I assume?
Yep.
Yep, this time I'll let the human take charge and
All right. And
just
as you walk
laugh
up
it
to the
off.
entrance this time, you can see that it almost looks like there was some figure wrapped in a cloak, like pretty tall too, probably like 7, maybe 8 feet tall, with a book in his hand. And as you approach, the figure turns and looks down at you with a, like, you can't see anything within this hood. It's completely black. He doesn't actually say anything though.
Is it an actual person?
You don't know.
It is the School of Illusions.
True.
It's not a
Did you
person, it's a gnome.
I was about to say, have we gone in the door yet, at least?
You're not actually in the door yet. This is outside the school. He is standing there at the gate, or at the doorway.
You could do maybe an intelligence check, maybe, to figure out, maybe.
Maybe.
I was just going to say, Alana's just going to, like, nod at him and just kind of try and walk past into the door.
And
Walk in like we own the place.
And as she goes to start taking a step towards the door, she stops, hearing a loud voice, which is almost like cinder blocks on her ears. What is your purpose?
I had an inquiry to make.
And the figure would just kind of be there, standing completely still for a moment, and then you hear the door in front of her start to open. Proceed.
A little melodramatic.
Are you surprised?
School of Illusions! Rainbows everywhere. What else did you expect?
Unicorns.
True.
I
So she walked into the door.
Alright, so you walk inside, and you can see that the school itself, it's about the same size as the School of Divination, and you're currently in the center, and there's 2 halls going off, like one wing on the left, one wing on the right, and they look similar, but you can kind of pick out differences, and you can see a bunch of creatures running around. You actually see some halflings and elves and half-elves looking to be students in here at the time, so if you don't actually see any instructors yet, like anyone that would look like an instructor, but you can see like groups of kids speaking with each other.
Alright. Was there, like in the other one, how there was, like, that secretary, is there anybody like that?
Nope, best you can tell it was whatever was at the gate.
I'll flag down one of the students who isn't talking to anybody and ask them, like, where the
And he'll stop for a moment. The dean's office? Yes, we don't have that. It's the 2
Where's your
teachers.
instructors?
Yeah, the 2 teachers, they can't seem to agree on that at all. It's a wonder they can work with anything. I believe Ren is down in the northern wing, and Zook is in the southern wing, if you'd like to speak to one of them.
I thank him, and then I go for the northern wing, I guess.
I think that was what I said, Rin? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow suit. Why not? Might need a
And
bodyguard.
heading up to the northern wing, and you can see you're walking along, and you eventually come across a dead end. Like, there's been a few doorways on the side, there's been nothing in it, and you come to the end, it's like a dead end, there's nothing there at all.
It's a School of Illusion, the wall is fake. I try and, like, push my hand against the wall.
And you push your hand against the wall, and you fall flat through, landing on your face, and into a small pile of mud. And behind you, you can hear a loud laughter. Actually, you can hear a laughter from both sides. The students behind you laughing, and in front of you, you see a gnome on a chair who's about to fall over in laughter.
Did
Alana's
no
gonna
just
go head
mud
out.
by Elana?
Wait, I said I knew that the wall is fake, so I was pushing my hand against it, not that I was trying to
Yeah,
push through it.
Yeah, and you still fell.
There was a tripwire there, you just didn't see it with the illusion. There you go.
Suspecting Falana is just taking a step over this tripwire, being very careful as the illusion finally fades away.
Yep.
Of course there was a tripwire.
I thought the floor was fake.
That was another possibility. And the gnome, as he finally gets done laughing, he gets off his little chair, wiping a tear from his eye, and he goes up to address you. Hello, what can I do for you, missus?
Before I say anything, I press a digitation to clean myself off.
And as you do this, he'll look at Elana with a nod of approval. Ah, fellow spellcaster.
Kind of.
I'm just gonna say it's a good thing Lily's not here, because she'd make him lick her boot
Yeah.
or something.
It's a good thing that Surina isn't there, because Surina would just be really confused by every one of the illusions. Like, she'd fall for every trick. Probably.
All right.
Wisdom's actually to save against those, so you'd be good.
All right. So, are you gonna like? What are you gonna say to him at this point?
I have a request to make of you. A while ago in this area, something happened and I had to leave. There's some people here who I believe do not trust me, and I hear you guys are in a school of illusions, and I was inquiring about maybe getting a hat of disguise.
And he nods for a second, thinking it's like, yes, say no more. I know exactly what that's like. That happens to Zook every other week. And he just kind of grins at this, and you could make an insight roll if you wish.
Every week outside of that.
Yes, well, then it happens to me, but I blame it on Zook anyway. And you
I might as well make. Ooh.
And you can just see him grinning ear to ear at this, and he is completely shameless in his statements, and you get the feeling that he's being completely honest with this.
Not surprising.
And as he continues on, it's like, alright, so you'd like a hat of disguise. Well, I do know we had a messenger who was going along with our merchants, and he did have a hat of disguise, a rather fancy one that he was borrowing on behalf of the school. We could have potentially been allowed to, we could, potentially be convinced to sell that to you. Well, if you can get me and Zook to agree on things anyway.
For roughly how much would it cost?
Oh, roughly how much? For a good hat of illusion, well, he stops and looks Elana over again. Well, I kind of like you, lass. I think we might be able to go for say, 150 gold pieces. And a good illusion, too.
It's a hat of illusion as well.
Illusions!
Yeah,
How
that's
do
the
we
big
know
question.
that you're giving us the real hat?
Oh, well, of course, I'll allow you to test it before you disappear with it.
All right.
Just
So
don't disappear after you test it, but before you pay.
So the only thing I have to do is get you and Zook to agree on something?
Yes, to agree on selling this hat.
So I guess I'll just go, I'll thank him
I'll take
and
care of
say
that.
I'll come back after I talk to Zook.
Alright, so you're gonna go down to the, southern
Wing. Yeah.
Alright, and as you go by, you can see there's still several, like, they're clean now, but you can tell the kids know what happened. They're a few of them are snickering in the back.
You must not have cleaned up
This
the
is
smell.
like high school all over again.
Yeah, it's like, compared to the School of Divination, you can see that these kids, they do actually have more of a respect for magic, but they have no respect otherwise.
They respect their magic, but they don't respect anything
They just
else.
like making illusions and being able to do these little tricks.
Are there any gnomes?
I'm gonna say there's probably like 3 gnomes there.
Why are you
Oh,
so
it's
interested?
so
in
tempting.
That match is low.
Out of spite, near a group of rather large group of them, she's going to get within like 10 feet and cast Thunderclap, which causes a very loud bang to happen.
And they're all gonna jump up in shock. And you can hear other kids that are on the other side of the hall just laughing extremely loud at this. They find it hilarious.
Now, go easy on them.
Bang! Boom! Suddenly, lethal joke!
So you gonna keep going down to the southern wing?
Yeah.
Alright, and you get down there, and as you get closer, you can see that there's apparently a very wide pit with a narrow path across it, and at the bottom it almost looks like there's waters infested with crocodiles.
I don't trust it.
Quick,
You don't trust the pit of crocodiles.
Walk through it, it'll be just fine.
quick, throw a rock.
Are you gonna throw a look at it?
Through it.
I'll
Is
let
there a
Falana
rock
go
in the
first.
school?
Alright, so Falana goes first, and Falana, is she actually trying to walk on this narrow path, or is she just trying to walk normally?
Fuck normally.
Alright, so she tries to walk normally, and she's perfectly fine. It almost looks like she's walking on thin air.
All right.
That good.
Wait, I'm gonna guess that they try to walk on the narrow path. There's another tripwire or something.
Probably, yes.
So I'll just follow after Falana.
Alright, and as you get to the end, you can see that there's another gnome who's like kind of peeking his head out of a doorway, and you can see that he's kind of frowning. And as he sees you get closer, he pulls his head in quickly.
Fast, go walk the narrow path. You'll be just fine. Trust me. I will use enchantment if I have to get her to do it.
No.
Alright, so you're gonna try to follow this gnome who poked his head back in?
Yeah.
And you can see as you fall in the room afterwards, you can see that this gnome is scrambling into the teacher's seat, and he's kind of just trying to make himself presentable. It's like, yes, hello, welcome to the School of Illusion. I am Zook. What can I do for you?
Yes, I'm here to possibly purchase a hat of surprise from you.
A hat of illusion?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I believe I know what you're talking about. Sadly, we cannot sell that to you.
I'm sorry. I'm currently on the run from a dwarven group that's absolutely out to kill me. I'm going to need your assistance in this, and you're the only one I can trust on this matter.
Roll persuasion.
Dun 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 dun.
Persuasion or deception?
Deception, actually. Yeah, do deception. Alright. And he'll look at you for a moment, and he'll kind of just, well, you don't really look like the group to piss off a group of dwarves down here, miss. But regardless, we still could not sell you that hat.
I mean, Falana's the one who took this one, so I'm not a great guy.
Is there anything preventing you from possibly selling it?
Well, we currently do not have it to sell it. One of our fellows went up north to gather some supplies and news from one of the further towns, and he took the hat with him. He has not returned yet.
Perhaps the dwarves got to him after all. Such a shame.
Perhaps, though we haven't seen dwarves in this area, aside from that one shopkeeper, for years.
Very infiltrating.
Is there anything else I might be able to help you with, miss?
Alana will pipe up now and say, would it be possible to make another hat?
Possible. If we had the supplies and the tools, and if I could get Rin to stop framing me every week, yes, I believe it might be possible.
But do you frame him on opposite weeks?
I'm every week they're after me. What do you think?
Yes.
He tries. He's just not as good as it.
What supplies would you need in order to make it?
For a proper hat of illusion? Let's see. We already have some skilled spellcasters, some of the best in the area. We need a good proper hat for it, obviously. Beyond that, a good touching of magical dust. Perhaps dust of disappearance would work best, but it's hard to come across that in this area.
Yeah, it tends to just disappear on you.
Yes, exactly!
What about, near what they were. Perhaps pixie dust.
That could probably work, actually, but you would have to go into the Fey Forest for that. Though, if you were going up to the Fey Forest, you might as well be better off trying to find what happened to our messenger.
Where was he heading?
Oh, I was going up to one of the northern towns. I don't actually recall the name off the top of my head, but the path he took goes right alongside the forest, so...
Wait, was he going to Ashenport?
Ashenport is 400 miles north. He was not
Oh.
there.
Yeah, that's not
Was
gonna
he
be
going to
far.
Haven?
Okay, that would have been
Haven
nice to
is-
know, like, while
Haven-
we
I'm sorry, Earth. I thought I mentioned that at some point. No, you are like 400 miles south. You are...
Yeah, I thought we were
like
just
across
like,
the- You have gone from the northern tip of this continent to the southern tip. You're
okay. I thought we were just like 30 or 40 miles, like annoying to traverse, and so we were trying to find a
Oh.
route. But now we're just
No,
completely
yeah,
off there.
you are completely like you went the other side of the continent.
Haven's
I
what,
mentioned that.
250 away or so?
250, 300, though that's more to the east, northeast.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you are far away from where any of you have ever been used to being. Like, Elana is the only one who's ever been remotely in this area, and even she hasn't been this far south.
Surina's just lost because she's used to the colder temperatures up in the north, and it's all less like namby-pamby elves down here. It's just like, oh, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, Surina's used to the cold. There's nothing but forests around here, and it's warm. She's probably not having a good time.
She needs a ring of cold.
To be fair, it's probably easier than being in the cold directly and trying to
Yeah,
hibernate.
that's true. So, all right. So he's just explained to you that, like, if you're going that far, you might as well just check on his messenger instead. It'd be easier, probably
All right.
cheaper as well.
It really depends on who you are. I mean, I would have no problem in that forest.
Yeah. Well, the mention is always there. So if you do end up there, you could always check.
That's true.
Mhm.
I don't know why I was so panicked about to get the dungeon done, because you're barely going to get into it, if at all, this session.
I tried to
All
say that to you.
Yeah, I know. So I'm gonna figure. Well, that means I'm just good for next week.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna figure at this point. I don't think there's much more you would do in the Illusions College for now.
Yeah, she wasn't able to get what she needed, so she's just going to thank them and just leave.
All right. And as you leave, the Silent Guardian is of course standing there, and he doesn't make any indication to have noticing you as you both walk out.
Alright, now Falana's gonna pull Elana to the side. So, why are you looking for it exactly?
What I told Ren in there is the case. There's people who want me for some reason, and I don't want to be near them to find me.
Alright, then perhaps we should start investigating the northern town. Possibly consider going into a fake forest ourselves.
All right, and I'm gonna say for now that'll be the end for the midday for that group. You do know that come afternoon, that's when Malkorak said that he would be about ready to try and do this ritual to try and find this thing that Falana was asking about. So when that time comes around, you'll be able to do that. So for now, back to Serena and Lily. What are you gonna do midday?
I'm gonna step out for a moment and take care of certain things.
Have fun. So Lily and Serena, where are you going now that you've been shopping and Serena's fitted a new splint mail?
So, we're all donned up with awesome gear. Lily's just going to ask the dwarf before they leave to describe what the city's like, what the different districts are, and where to find things.
All right, so she's asking the dwarf for a description, and he'll kind of go along with this description, and I'm just going to go do the color code now. So you already know about the orange and green. So the yellow district, that's the local church, Temple of Isis. Never been too fond of her, but she's not the worst goddess around. Let's see, the teal district. He kind of looks a little apprehensive about the teal district. Yes, that's where they actually have most of the gambling. They have a nice gambling tavern in the area, and along with the racing stadium. I try to avoid that area. Can't really. All the upper class look down on a dwarf. Mentioned the blue district, the mage academies.
What's in the northern half of the blue district? I'm curious.
It's mostly going to be residential up there.
Okay.
Then you have the red district. The only thing in the red district he mentions is that there's an old abandoned temple, but nobody's used that in decades, and nobody really remembers what was even there.
Wait. Old dependent temple. That's probably got something to do, like something Serena's probably interested in.
Yeah, we may head there soon. What's the other two districts?
Maybe.
And on the purple district, you have the the village's duke on the far island. I'll ping it right for a second. The village's duke. He doesn't actually hold that much power. The trade guild controls everything in the area.
Seems to be typical for these towns. And the last one?
And the brown district, that is just where the trade guild exists.
Okay.
Like, that is the trade guild's island.
So our options for finding a way home would be getting good with the trade guild, or try and make the Duke have a little bit more power, and then have him use his newfound power to help us get back home.
What else is in the purple district?
Purple district, for the most part...
Is it just hoity-toity people?
Oh yeah, I actually messed that up. So the purple district actually has the trade guild house in it. I messed that up. And the brown district was the adventurers guild.
Okay.
So, like, the purple district it's kind of hoity-toity people. You can kind of understand, like, the Duke is trapped there on his own. Like, he can't go anywhere without going through the trade district's territory. It's kind of symbolic in a way.
You have to go through us to get to anything else in this town, mate.
Yeah.
Alright, so how many more time periods will we have before we have to get back together?
I figure I'm going to do afternoon and then evening.
Okay. So, let's go to the abandoned temple in the afternoon, and Lily's going to want to do her thing for the evening.
All right. So you're going to go to the abandoned temple first, and You'll make your way over to the red district. It's not too terribly difficult to get there. The dwarf gave you some directions, but you can hear him muttering the entire way about all these sky bridges and everything else. And, yep, okay, you got her. And you get to the abandoned temple, and you look around, and it's, like, you can see some old statues, but they've been worn by the ages and the weather, and you can't even make out anything that they once were. They're, like, roughly humanoid, but beyond that, you could not tell.
Can I do a perception check?
Yeah.
And we're just trying to find more information, so.
You're trying to look. What are you looking at, and what are you trying to figure out?
Looking at the temple to see if there's anything written there, or any information that brings to mind anything that she would know about.
And she'll look at it, and she sees nothing of the sort. And like any plaques or symbols, etc., that might be there to say who this is a temple of to, completely gone. Worn off by the ages, and you can tell looking at it that this isn't something that's happened like due to like vandalism, people going in there stealing stuff. This is just, this temple is probably one of the oldest things in this town, and everything has just been worn away by time. Like the dwarf probably makes a mention of this as he goes, and it's like, yeah, the only reason it's still there is because nobody wants to tear it down, afraid of what might happen.
Is there anyone nearby?
On the next island over, there's a few small houses, but there's nobody who's really sticking near the temple. Like, if anyone who walk by, they're usually just taking the bridge to get over to the Blue Island.
Lily's gonna open the door and go inside.
Alright, and the door will open with a loud, creaky noise as she pushes it open. And it opens pretty easily. It's like, it hasn't been that well maintained, but it still kind of just slides right open, and you can see dust everywhere on the ground. In fact, the door just makes a path as it pushes dust out of the way for you to get in there.
Surina, do you want to do anything?
You want to look around and see what you find inside in the meanwhile?
Sure.
Alright, so roll perception.
Can't use that same roll? Yeah, close enough.
Alright, and you look around inside, and it looks like there's various pews. There's, like where somebody might preach at the far end. In the center, it looks like there's a round circle which might have some sort of symbol that's relative to whatever religion this was, but there were like little stone pieces that were like colored to make up the symbol, but it looks like they were all taken out by time, or all the color is faded and you can't tell what it was. And again, everything is covered in dust. You can see some spider webs in the corner. There's like a stained glass window which has been faded into near oblivion. Like, all the glass at this point looks pretty much yellow.
Is there anything of value in here?
You could look around a little bit and try to find stuff of value. You don't actually come across much of anything. And like, there's a few side rooms where like the preacher and clergy might have been, and those doors are still closed now, so you haven't actually looked in there.
Let's open up well, how many rooms are there?
I'm gonna say there's two rooms, or there's two rooms in the back, one on each side, and a hallway off to the right, which seems to go to a staircase that goes up. And one off to the left, which seems to go to a staircase that goes down.
Without Surina telling me not to, Lily's going to open up first the door on the left and the back, whatever one that is.
Door on the left and the back. And she opens up that door, and it looks to be kind of just like a little clergy room, like maybe an office. It looks like there might have been a pretty, like the remains of what held a rack for where like a person might have held his robes and such to that effect. A wooden chair which looks half eaten away in the behind a desk. And
any books of any sort?
No books, not even any papers. It's all just dust.
Any are there actually robes there, or is it just hangers for it?
Not even the hangers are there. They've all been worn away by time.
Okay. So she's gonna look in the other room.
And in the other room, you can see what looks to be almost like just a little waiting room of sort, like perhaps maybe for weddings or something, where one person might wait while the other arrives. You can't really see that much in there either. It looks to be about in the same condition. Dust everywhere, like if nobody's been in there. Like, Lily and Surina have probably been the first people to enter there in years.
Okay, so that explains it. My mic was muted, and I was trying to get an explanation for what just happened because my cat just attacked me. So, am I guessing we're in that abandoned church?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lily opened the door and went in.
Okay,
Yeah,
Serena's gonna follow her really quickly.
Yeah.
Also, my
So
other point was the fact that I don't know what the stats are for the splint mail armor, so I.
It's plus
Yeah.
1 AC from what you currently have.
yeah, it's just
Okay, so
AC
17.
17. Yeah, and it has a strength requirement of 15, but you'd be fine on that. All right. As for what you've seen in here, it's just everything is covered in dust. It looks like things have been cleaned up. Any indication of who this may have been to has been worn by the ages. And outside of Serena and Lily, it does not look like anyone has been in here for decades.
Can Lily ask Serena, basically, can Serena do a religions check on it?
Lily
Basically,
could.
see if she knows what the hell is going on.
Yeah, Lily could. Or, yeah, Lily. Serena could.
Okay. Religion. It's always kind of funny that religion is an int check, but Serena has really shitty int.
Yeah. All right, so religion. And Serena isn't able to actually tell much. As far as she can tell, this is just probably some temple to a god that may have died ages ago. It's really hard to tell.
Lily's gonna say, I don't really trust this place. Let's keep our weapons drawn just in case. And she's gonna go up the stairs.
All right, and Lily will go up the stairs, and she investigate around a little bit, and you just come out to a balcony-ish area which overlooks where all the pews are. There's a few more seats up here, just more room for people to sit. Around the back, you can see that there's a staircase that goes even further up, probably to a bell tower.
Lily is going to test something.
All right.
She's gonna hold her sword up in the air. She's gonna call out, "Oh, great deity of this place, bless my sword."
Nothing happens.
Crap. Well, that didn't work. Lily's gonna say, I don't think there's anything here. How big is the drop to the balcony? Is it just like 10 feet?
The drop to the balcony, I would say that'd be about 10 feet, yeah.
She's gonna jump down.
All right. Lily will
Do
take
you want me to
3
roll
damage.
dex?
Yeah, roll dex.
Just to save.
Rolls a natural one.
Yeah, roll dex save. Lily takes 3 damage.
Doesn't matter.
I suppose Serena's actually going to walk down.
Serena's gonna walk down. She's not gonna jump off in her heavy splint mail armor
All right.
because she's not taking. She doesn't. She has the armor on.
All right. Are you going to stick around here anymore, or are you going to...
There's nothing of value. There's no stairs leading down.
There was actually on the left, like you went on the right side to go up. On the left side, there is another hallway, and it looks like stairs that go down.
Oh well, Lily's gonna go down once Serena's caught up.
All right, and you start to go down to the steps, and as you reach the bottom, there's a large metal doorway.
Can we open it?
You can try.
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
All right, you pull on the door.
Yep.
Nothing happens. Push on the door. Well, Serena rather pushes on the door. Nothing happens.
So it's a magically locked door, or it's just a normally locked door.
You
Or
want
it's
to try to
just
force
too
it
heavy.
open?
Lily's gonna try to force it.
All right, roll a strength check.
I guess Serena can Serena help her to give her advantage?
Serena can help her to give her advantage, though. Serena, roll a religion, or roll an insight, actually.
Roll an insight?
Yeah.
Okay. This is probably just... oh, thank goodness. It's a wisdom check.
Yeah.
She's going to get a natural one.
All right, and as Lily
Oh.
goes up to start pushing on this door, Serena gets the feeling that this is a very bad idea. This door is closed for a reason.
Okay, Serena just immediately stops Lily. This is
And-
a very stupid idea.
Yeah, and as Lily starts to pull on it, she kind of feels a warmth, but it's not like a comfortable warmth. It feels almost like it's burning her hands. She'll take 1 radiant damage.
Okay, so this is just like some insane holy god who's just burning everything alive. Let's not touch this, please.
Lily's
It's more
gonna.
that Serena had the bad feeling about opening this door. Whatever was behind this door, she didn't want to have it be open, and she felt that herself, but she could also feel her deity. I think it's Nord.
Yep.
Yeah, giving this like the same sensation to her as like do not open that door.
Don't fuck this up. Okay, Serena immediately stops Lily from opening the door.
Can
Do
can
not
Lily
open the
do
door.
insight on the insight? As to
Lily can
why.
do yeah, Lily can do an insight on Serena's gut feeling. Lily gets the feeling that Serena probably knows what she's talking about.
Lily says, "Hey, we're fighters. We can take care of ourselves. What if the secret to everything is behind that door?" I think we
And-
really ought to go.
Serena immediately cuts in. I will hit you over the head with a hammer if you try to open that door.
Can I
Even
do
my
persuasion
god is
on her?
saying no.
You can do persuasion on it, but it'd be at disadvantage,
Crap.
I feel.
Crap.
Not that it mattered.
Severe disadvantage. No. Serena-
What's Serena's
I would
Counter.
say she could just like roll a
insight,
charisma
isn't
check,
it?
probably. It'd be insight, charisma check.
All right. So which one do you want?
I'll say a charisma save.
Charisma save.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to go really badly.
Yeah.
She does
Oh,
not
wait.
Why is there a Christmas save? What did I miss?
against whatever Lily's saying. Yeah. So Serena is not phased in the bit, and she still does not want to go or try to open that door.
Yeah, you're not opening the door, Jeeves. Please stop trying to open the door.
Listen, I thought you were a dragonborn, not a chicken. And she's gonna head back up the stairs.
All right.
Do you know how stupid it is to go against the warning of a god?
All right. And as you do
That's
go
great.
by, you kind of, or Lily, I don't know if Lily would have been out the stairs already, so I'm going to say as Lily starts to go up the stairs, you can see a faint outline of like a lighting appearing on the door and some sort of symbol, but it fades very quickly.
Okay, so we found the door that you do not open.
Can
Oh shit.
can Lily do perception on that? See how much she sees?
I
Lily
would
wouldn't-
say Lily would have been able to see it because she probably would have been looking back at Serena to probably like say she's a chicken or something.
Okay.
You can do a religion to see if you recognize it. I expect Serena would have seen it as well.
No, if we're doing it like that, then Serena would have her back to it.
I figured
So I
that
think
Serena
that's
would have
no.
been able to see like a light effect coming from behind her and probably would have turned to look at it.
Yeah, in that case, yes. She
Yeah,
would,
so you can do a religion check as well.
if it wasn't gone too quickly for her to see, like
It probably would have been up for like maybe 3, 4, 5 seconds.
Okay, then she would be able to check. So let's see.
A
And
good
Lily-
suggestion is if the DM says you can, then you probably can.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't make sense in my mind, then I'm not going to do it, even if it's stupid.
Then I'm going to tell you to do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. See?
So
Then it makes
Lily-
sense.
Yeah, Lily, she does not recognize anything of this sort. Serena, on the other hand, well, Serena actually doesn't recognize it much either, but what she can pick out, it seems to be some sort of, almost like a jail cell, something sealing something off.
Okay.
But she can't tell anything more than that, like what god put this in, what it's locking up, or anything of the sort.
So
Does
this
she
is like a
tell-
divinity check.
She'll probably make a mental note of the
The symbol.
the symbol itself in case like she wants to shine.
She'll probably double check with the
To check
with
with the-
ISIS.
anyone.
Does she tell Lily that?
Yes.
Okay. Lily's gonna say.
Actually,
Lily's gonna say, well, in that case, maybe. Excuse me. Sorry. Maybe we're sealing off some demon or something.
Yeah, it's like you have no idea what's behind this, other than it's some sort of jail cell of a sort, or that it's sealing something off. You do not know what's in there. I would also like to thank the party for giving me a potential for a future dungeon.
oh god.
All right.
Wow.
There's like 4 of them right now, so let's not even get started on this.
Do we have
All right.
time to do something else now?
You'd have a little bit of time left over.
All right.
I mean,
So
in that case, since the only other religious institution is the Church of Isis, and it's a seal put on by a god, if we really wanted to check, we could check with them.
Lily's gonna suggest going to the Duke's house because she has ins with nobles.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll allow this to happen. So you're going to go to the Duke's house, and you can see that there's kind of a guard at the gate who's ready to stop you before you even get across the bridge. The bridge to the Duke's house itself. And he just kind of asks what purpose you have with the Duke.
Lily's gonna say, I'm a daughter of a viscount from Haven. We have to talk to the Duke.
And it kind of like he kind of looks back about that, like kind of an actual noble's here. It's like, do you have any
She's-
proof?
By the
of
way,
your nobility?
she's got her hood up, covering her ears.
Right.
Um,
And he'll ask, like, does you have any proof of your nobility?
of course, she holds out her signet ring that she's
And he'll
wearing.
he'll look at her for a second, and he kind of nods for a second. You see he's like kind of apprehensive, but he finally just kind of agrees, like, "Oh, okay, you can go in." And I'm gonna say, with your passive insights, you can tell that he doesn't actually know what the signet ring for other nobles would look like, so he's just kind of making a guess that Lily is telling the truth.
I wonder would he know if she'd shown him the ring of warmth?
That's actually a good question. I don't know. So you're going to be able to go up to the Duke's house, and the Duke's house, despite the
So
fact
just
that
like Serena brings it out and says she's like some noble fire dragon descendant or something, and it's just like some weird simple ring you can buy.
so
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, Lily's gonna say Serena's her retainer for now, and then she's gonna kind of turn back to Serena and say something in Draconic along the lines of, "Just roll with it."
all right. And as you go past this guy and get to the bridge, you go up to the Duke's Manor, and at the outside of the Duke's Manor, you can see a single servant who's going around the gardens, and he kind of looks up as you approach. He's like, yes, are you here to see the Duke?
Lily says yes.
Yes, I will take you right up to him. Just a second. And he sets aside his gardening tools, and he goes to the doorway, and he opens it up, and you could probably get the feeling that this is the only servant this guy has.
I wonder how much he's getting paid.
I wonder how much the trade guild is paying him.
Lily's gonna head inside and see if she can find the Duke.
And inside, you can see there's a pretty grand hall. Admittedly, it's got a staircase going up the center. It goes around like a little balcony thing. There's doorways on all sides, and at the top of the staircase, there's a great double door, and that's where this servant is leading you. And he opens up the door and he calls inside, "Duke Mylan, we have somebody here to see you." And in the background, you can hear kind of like a waving, or you can hear a waving. You can hear a few acknowledgments like, yes, send them in, send them in.
Lily's going to make a point to thank the servant as he lets them in.
And he'll kind of just nod and just kind of stand there with his arms behind his back waiting for you to enter.
I swore, like I misheard, and I thought you were saying when you said Duke's servant, I thought you were talking about the Duke himself. So it was just like, this Duke is so dinky he doesn't even recognize other noble symbols. So fucking
No. All right. So you're going to go in to talk to the Duke, and inside here you can see that you've already heard his name, Mylan. You can see that he's got. It's not a super ornate chambers, and actually from Lily's experience it probably looks like it's under what his post should be, but it doesn't look too bad. It's probably one of the more impressive ones for the area, and you can see him standing behind this large mahogany desk. And he kind of just nods at the group coming in, and he kind of waves to a chair for Lily to sit down, half expecting that Serena is a retainer of some sort.
Lily's going to remain standing, and she's going to introduce herself as Lily Colwyn, daughter of the Viscount of Haven.
And I'll kind of nod this. Yes. A noble from Haven, so that's how you got in here so easily. I must admit, I was not expecting to have such nobles come to speak to me.
Lily says she's rarely expected around these parts.
yeah.
Well then, is there anything at all that I might be able to help you out in this fine town
Lily said Lily's going to briefly explain their situation, not going into great detail, but say that her what she's meant to do is quite a bit of distance to the north. They were transported here accidentally, and is wondering if there's anything he can do to help them.
I apologize, miss. I'm not skilled in the arts of magic or even transportation. The guild does not give me much access to that. So there's not much I would be able to do to help you in that regard.
Lily's going to say, this is the second town I've been to recently where the ruler of the city is not the ruler of the city. What is going on?
The second town you've been to, miss? Well, I must admit, in this town here, and he kind of looks around for a second, he motions to his servant to close the door behind you so you're all in there and nobody can hear. And as the door creaks closed, you can see him kind of just sit back. He kind of seems to go relaxed, but you can kind of see just the apprehensive look on his face. So, the reason why this town is not under the ruler's command is because the ruler does not have money. The trade guild has all of the money.
And you don't control the military?
What military? There has been no need to fight down here. All of the wars are in the north. The most we have for a military is it's a scout unit of elven rangers, and they don't report to anyone but the Adventurers Guild.
Lily's,
Yes, we could,
go ahead.
Leave it like that. Oh wait, I'm up there.
yeah.
Was Serena saying something?
I mean, this is out of character, mind you, because Serena's maintaining the helpful silent servant kind of demeanor because she doesn't want to fuck something up. But mostly, I'm saying if we can either put the power into the Duke's hands by somehow getting him into the Goodwill or in charge of the Trading Guild, or make him pair up with the Adventurers Guild and give him a little bit more clout there.
Lily's going to ask him, he's a noble. Does his nobility mean nothing here?
Oh, yes, my nobility means something. It's why I have this house, but money talks louder than nobility, and I don't have money.
Lily's going to cross her arms and say, if we could get control back into your hands, is there something you could do for us?
No! Don't do it!
If you were able to weaken the trade guild in a way that I would once again have control, or provide me with money enough that I would be able to regain my control from the trade guild, I would be indebted to you, and I would offer any assistance I could.
And what would that assistance be?
You said that you ended up far away from where you were intending to be by accident. I would arrange for a transportation to get you back there.
That would take days or months.
I may not have the power to access it, but I am not without my tricks. And beyond that, if you were to need any service, I might be able to arrange for help as well. And if I am able to send a proper message off to some of the neighboring towns, perhaps we could get a spellcaster that would be able to transport you easier.
Lily's going to ask if he knows of some way that they could undermine the guild.
Well,
or get him in charge of it.
Get me in charge of it. Now there's an interesting idea. Unfortunately, I do not think that would be possible. Though to undermine it, the Trade Guild is currently in a bit of an uproar. Many of the convoys that have been going through the area have been attacked by various creatures. In the south, across the seas, there have been pirates, and even the land routes have been stricken by goblins. If you were... Yes, because they've even began to issue large bounties with the expectation that whomever goes to deal with it will be struck down, but kill enough till they can handle it themselves. If you were able to handle one of these bounties in return, and I could ensure that they are forced to pay up, the coffers that they would lose due to the bounty they have set out might be enough to destabilize them.
How much is that bounty, Lily's going to ask?
Oh, rather impressive, to be honest. I think they're offering like 50, 60 gold for each goblin head.
Lily's going to turn back to Surina and say in Draconic, what do you think?
It seems like an easy way to get home and get paid doing it. But if they're offering that much gold for just a goblin's head, then these are some dangerous goblins. We'd have to be very well prepared to deal with them.
Lily's going to turn back to the Duke. Not a word of this to anyone.
Of course not.
We'll do what we can.
Right. I thank you very much, and hopefully I'll be able to once again rule over my town, though this town has not been in this family's hands in 2 generations.
Lily's going to turn as if to leave. Yeah, she's just going to turn and head on out after thanking him.
All right, and as an aside remark, I'm kind of gonna say that that probably went in closer towards the start of the evening,
Okay.
because like you essentially did two things, granted, and all the travel time between it.
Yep.
All right, so now we also have the mage group. So you're going back to the School of Divination.
Well, Falana needs to get something from there.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. Oh,
All right. All right, so you'll return back to the School of Divination, and the secretary at this point, she recognizes you, and she mentions, "Ah, yes, Malkarak mentioned that he wanted to see you when you returned. I will send you right in. Same
Thank
place as you found him last time, in there on the left."
and back we go.
And you go back in there in the room, and he actually notices when the party, when the party enters this time, and he kind of runs up down at this point. "Ah, yes, you finally returned. Now then, I believe you were wanting me to help you find an object, a gay weight of some sort?"
Uh, Waygate. Yes.
"Ah, yes, Waygate." And he kind of nods. "All right, I could set about doing an invocation to find one. Let me see. This will be. Would you have perhaps 30 gold pieces in payment for this?"
I'll go ahead and take gold out and hand it to him directly.
And he'll nod and he'll set it on the table for now. I'm thankful that you have it, though. Unless this actually turns up any results, I cannot accept the money. But for now, let us begin.
I'll
And
still pay you for your time, very least.
oh, that is very kind of you. Don't see that very often in these days. And he'll set about, and you can see that where all the desks were, it's been cleared out, and he kind of goes out and he brings out a like a small pouch, and he's just kind of sprinkling sand, and he sprinkles a ton of sand, and after a moment he mutters a few words in a magic spell, and the sand suddenly shifts up to take the form of the continent that you're on currently. All right then. So you're seeking a waygate, and it would have this sigil that you showed me earlier, correct?
Yes, it could also be the object itself.
I see. All right.
The one we found originally was the object.
Let me start off with the sigil. And he'll scribble the sigil onto a piece of paper. He'll wrap the paper around a length of string. The string on one end holds a little crystal with a point on it, and he holds it underneath this sand map he's made. And he kind of just drags it around, seeing if it pulls anywhere particular. And it seems to pull to a few particular areas. There's one. Let me look at the actual map. Actually, let me move everyone to the map so I can point out where it points. That'll be easier. World map it with everyone.
I'm going to at least keep note.
All right. So the world map. Also, there's a new thing on the world map. I'm going to point that out now. This thing right over here that I just pinged with the orange. That I got to find a better symbol for it, but you would pretty much all know from hearing about or whatever where this floating island, which started everything, is, and it's currently right about there. The various locations he pings, though, you do see that there is a ping up here around Ashenport, and you do recognize that that's probably the Waygate itself. You see that there's a ping off here on the far side of here. A ping up on the northern continent around this area. A ping all the way over here in the Runewald. And then closer to Gatesil, next to this forest, you see another ping. And those are all the areas that the crystal stops at the moment.
Is that the Faith Forest it just pinged in? No, it's pinged near Alto.
Nothing to the southeast at all?
Yeah.
Nothing to the southeast at all. There also would have been one ping as he goes further across that would have been around here. And one final ping, now that I'm thinking about it, that would have been again. It wouldn't have been north. It would have been over here. Yeah, it would have been right about here. It would have been in the middle of the water.
Well, we're not getting that one.
Yeah, and this, as he stops and thinks, like, oh, and there also been, I completely forgot about this one. Ping located right up here. And as you would know from probably hearing about things, that's about where this floating island would have been. Though the crystal pulls, it doesn't go straight down to the sand to point out a location. It seems to hover in an area in the sky above the sand.
So it's on the island itself. So
Yeah.
we might randomly get teleported onto this crazy island. So that's really fun.
And as the situation goes on, he kind of finishes off. It's like, that's quite interesting. That's all the locations which seem to have one of this sigil for now, and it really liked that location in the sky there.
Perhaps it's the control for it.
Hmm, perhaps that would be interesting. We've yet to hear much coming back from the adventurers have gone up there. If you do wish to seek something, though, it looks like your best idea would have been the forest there, though that's quite odd. That's near where the town, or that's between here and a town that I sent a messenger to, and he was supposed to be coming back with a few supplies for me, and he isn't yet.
Interesting.
Oh,
we heard a
God.
similar story from someone else.
Oh wait. Oh God.
It's almost like I'm putting the
Perhaps.
party at something, isn't it?
Oh no. Oh no. I
It's
just
almost
realized
like
what
Silver
that is.
wants us to go
That's
somewhere.
the goblin. That's the goblin tower. Oh no.
All right, and he'll take the payment of 30 gold at this point, and I'm going to assume that Falana made a note and wrote down the locations that this all pinged.
Afterwards, do you think you could like mark our world map with those locations?
I'm going to say yes, and I'm also going to say the point of they're probably not going to be exactly where I pinged because I'm going to forget exactly where I pinged.
I wrote down the general locations of them. Like one was in North Dawn, the Pale Tower, Runewald, Gatesil. Middle of South Shore Ocean is what I put on the floating island, and Endwood.
Yeah, all right, yeah, just get that back to me later, and I'll make notes of that. So let me move everyone back to Gatesil for now. All right, so back to Gatesil. All right. Here, yeah, everyone's on Gatesil. All right, so that's essentially all he has to offer there at the time. And as he finishes up the little ritual he does, he goes off to collect the money that has been paid to him, and he just kind of asks the group, "That's all I can offer for now. Is there anything else you might need?"
None that I can think of.
All right. Well,
you
thank
guys don't
very
want to
much.
ask about the cat ears at all?
I
We
figured
don't
that
have reference for them because we don't have Lily with us. We'll have
you're not
do
even
that
going to
tomorrow.
ask about what they might have been up with.
And
'Cause-
Lily is completely and Lily is like completely relaxed about her cat ears. Like she doesn't even care. So it's just like why are they? So it's not like they're even worried.
Well, Elana would know that there's a thing on about it. And, like, Elana would know that this is the same man who gave them to them. So, would it hurt to
Oh,
ask?
you never mentioned that to me.
I thought I did. No, I thought I
Oh.
mentioned that at the start. I apologize. That
Yeah,
at the
you
start.
no, you did. You did. You
Oh, you did? I
mentioned.
didn't hear it.
Yeah,
then.
it's like this is the same guy who was running the riddle game where you got the bag of tricks and the curse.
Yeah, at the
cat
very
ears.
start, as soon as you guys walked into the divination divination college and found this guy, Silver said, "Yeah, this is the guy who gave you the cat ears."
Yeah,
I must have missed that. My bad.
yeah, and the two gnome illusionists you met, I think Elana might have recognized them, but they were the two that put on the show with Lily, and
Oh no, I knew that one.
yeah, that was pretty obvious because I really had fun with those two. All right, so
then I'll bring up. Oh, those cat ears you gave my friend yesterday.
and he stops and thinks as you mentioned the cat ears. Cat ears. Oh yes, I think I remember them. Something wrong with them?
She can't remove them.
It's-
There was a curse that's keeping them from being taken off.
a curse that's. Those were cursed? How peculiar. Those. I got those off of a merchant as he passed through. I don't recall where he said he got them. It was rather cheap, but I didn't see that they were. And he kind of just seems a little sheepish at this point because he obviously forgot to see if they were magical, and you can just kind of see how he's very. Like he made a huge mistake there. He could see the future. He could see the future, kind of, but he overlooked this.
Could you happen to give me a description of him then, so if we find him, we can try and figure it out?
It was a pair of adventurers. I do not know where they came from or where they went. I apologize. It was, let's see, there was a dwarf and a
Be right back.
And half elf, you said?
half orc.
I'm back.
And
What I missed? I'm sorry about that.
all right, the magical ears. The guy made a boo boo. He didn't actually check to see that that the ears were cursed before he did anything with them, but he got them from a pair of travelers. It was a half orc and a dwarf, and they vanished at some point months ago, so he has no clue where they would have went.
Alright.
Perfect.
for you.
All right. So, is there anything else you wish to do with him there?
Not particularly.
All right.
What did I miss? I mean,
I'm.
I just got back. I randomly got cut off.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah. You had a bunch of pings on where locations were. Did you catch all that?
Yeah, you were in the middle of discussing and it cut me off randomly.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna Alto's gonna get me back with the general location, and I'm gonna go to the world map and actually make indications where all the pings were, so you have that. So
Yeah,
I don't
Falana
change
would
my
have marked it. And
I might have missed one or two of them, but I
If
got
we get
most of
most
them.
of them, I think that'll be pretty good, because that's, spoilers, probably going to be dungeon locations.
No.
Who would have guessed? But, yeah, so I'm also going to figure that, are you done with, Malkorak here in the school?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm also going to figure then that this has probably been enough of the day. It's getting later on in the evening, the sun's not getting ready to set, so everyone going to head back to the, what was it, the Frowning Jester Tavern where your rooms are?
yeah.
Sure.
Sounds like a good idea.
Alright. And everyone's going to head back there.
So we don't get a little bit of evening time first?
I'm going to say with no.
Okay.
Shops are closing.
Yeah, I'm also going to
We'll
figure that
have-
you had the chance to do what you were planning to do, which was go talk to the
At
Duke.
most on
There
the
was
way back.
one more thing I wanted to do that wouldn't be closed right now, but
Well, what is it?
just do a little gambling. But that's okay. We can do that tomorrow.
I was really hoping that you were going to say check with a trading guild, but you know,
I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest, but
That
yeah.
too, but we can do that tomorrow as well. But I was hoping
Alright.
that Lily could, because she's proficient with playing cards.
Yes.
I was hoping that Lily could get some money.
Alright, well, we can figure that out at some point. So, as
Okay.
for now, is everyone go back to the tavern to check in and everything?
Sure.
Alright, so let's just drag everyone back to the tavern.
Lily's going to tell the rest of the group what she found out with the Duke, and
Alright.
and what she found out with the cathedral and all that stuff.
Alright, so I'm gonna...
Is she going to disclose everything?
Yeah, she's not gonna hold anything back.
Alright, and I'm gonna assume as everyone meets up before they even get back to the tavern, and as you do that, and you enter the tavern, you see a strangely familiar face sitting at the bar.